This production of Titan TV will look a little different. The motto for our broadcasting program is by students, for students. But for one day only, we are allowing our teachers to take over the broadcast for Teacher Appreciation Week. You're watching Titan TV, by teachers, for students. This is Titan TV's NMS News, coming to you live on tape from Studio 105. Today is Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Now, let's take it to the news studio with Miss Carty and Mrs. Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Troop, and good afternoon, Titans.
Today is a special edition of Titan TV. This is our teacher edition of NMS News.
Throughout the broadcast, you will have teachers filling in all the spots of the normal broadcast, both on camera and behind the scenes.
This is a tradition here at Titan TV for Teacher Appreciation Week.
With all that said, let's turn to the news. Our annual variety show, the Titan Showcase, is coming up. Auditions will be today and tomorrow after school in the auditorium. The recording will be on May 10th, and then the entire school will watch the show right here on Titan TV on May 12th. A sign-up sheet is posted on Schoology. Make sure to fill this out before auditions today. All acts and groups are invited. Please be entertaining.
The school-wide popcorn fundraiser items are expected to be delivered this week. Keep an eye out on Schoology for when we receive these items.
The Muncie Community Schools Celebrate Excellence event will take place on Thursday, May 12th at the BSU Alumni Center. This will feature projects from K through 12 honors classes and performances by our Titan Jazz Club and Titations. Come on out between 5 and 8 p.m.
Speaking of performances, our Titan bands will participate in the annual Bandorama concert featuring bands from Northside, Southside, and Muncie Central. This will take place in the Muncie Central Fieldhouse on Wednesday, May 18th, starting at 7 p.m.
Then, come back here to the Northside Auditorium the next day, Thursday, May 19th, for the Titan Choir's Pops concert. The theme this year is Disney, featuring full choreographed shows from Titations, Titan Singers, Beginning Choir, and Titan Voices. The concert begins at 7 p.m.
Keep working on making the right choices and receiving 0 referrals. There is a dance coming up on Monday, May 23rd, for those of you who can stay out of trouble.
And finally, believe it or not, it starts its time. Oh, gotta cut that. And finally, believe it or not, it is time to start talking about 8th grade recognition. This is our end of the year ceremony to celebrate our 8th graders. This will happen in the NMS gym beginning at 2 p.m. on May 26th. 8th grade parents are welcome to attend. And those are all of our top stories of today. Mrs. Turner, can you believe that we are already looking at the end of the year?
Absolutely not. This is a good reminder, though, to our students to keep working hard to finish the year strong.
And to us, too.
And to us, too.
To help all of you with this, here is Mrs. Church with some hot tips.
Hi, Mrs. Church here. Students, we're in the final month of our 21-22 school year. Summer break may be right around the corner and high school's on the horizon for our 8th graders, but it's very important that you give your best effort this last month. To help you out with this, here are some hot tips. Hot tip number 1, refocus your energy on the things that matter the most. Don't get easily distracted by things that are irrelevant or superficial in the long run, but still find time to relax and enjoy life. Just do it in moderation. Hot tip number 2, create a schedule for yourself. Plan out time requirements in order to complete every assignment. Try to stick to your schedule, making adjustments and taking enough time to study. Hot tip number 3, get help if you need it. Many teachers are happy to help their students and aid them in improving overall. As well, fellow students can help explain things in ways that make more sense. Study groups are useful too. They can be very effective before big tests or exams. Hot tip number 4, take short breaks while studying and working on assignments, which helps to maintain focus. Hot tip number 5, during any assessments, make sure to relax and breathe if you have any anxiety and attempt to answer every question to the best of your ability. If you don't know something, or if you're spending too much time on a specific problem, check back to it later. Hot tip number 6, start projects and essays many days in advance. Again, planning your time wisely so they can be completed on time, thoroughly, and effectively. Hot tip number 7, forgive yourself for anything you feel you've done wrong. It's best to move on and start fresh in a new direction with an open mind. Hot tip number 8, commit to everything you set your mind to. Believe that you can achieve the best for yourself and go on from there. And finally, hot tip number 9, remember to sit back once in a while and reflect on all of the accomplishments and good things that you've happened, both school-related and not. Like I said, Titans, let's try and finish this year out strong. The more you accomplish now, the better your summer break will be. I'm Mrs. Church, and these are your hot tips for today.
Thank you, Mrs. Church, for those wonderful tips.
Now, let's go to Mr. Grimm to hear about this week's forecast.
Thanks, Mrs. Turner. Mr. Grimm here, a Titan TV favorite, back and better than ever. My goal with the weather today is give you an accurate forecast. If I've had one complaint to Mr. Denniston about Titan TV, it's been that every single week the weather is wrong. So if I'm wrong, you can blame me. Let's take a look at today's weather. We have a small 15% chance of precipitation for the day, with a 14% chance of thunderstorms. So basically, not a lot of rain. The temperature will reach a high of 71 degrees and a low of 54 degrees. Speaking of rain though, look for tomorrow and Wednesday to feature some rain. There's an even higher chance of thunderstorms on Wednesday. Then look for some cloudy days to finish out the work week, with temperatures for most of the week in the 60s. Now, taking a look at the weekend.
Good afternoon, Northside. I need the following students. Please report to the library at this time.
That was going so well. And Mrs. Church.
It does not matter if you feel like Danny Diller, no lunch.
I was doing so well. I was going one take this time.
Avery Flowers,
Here comes Miss.
If I hear that again, I'm coming down there with the cowbell, and the office will be screaming more cowbell for me.
Now, taking a look at the weekend, look for temperatures to reach the 60s and 70s. Speaking of this weekend, the annual Goat Derby at the winery at Wolf Creek in Norton, Ohio is happening on Saturday. While we can't say that these nanny goats move at lightning speed, or even in a straight line, each goat will be racing for some great animal charities. There will be races throughout the day, costume contests, and food trucks. The weather for this event will be in the 60s, but there's a chance of rain for this day as well. That's the weather here in Titan TV land and beyond. Now let's go to Mrs. Susan Pierce to hear what happened on this day in history. I hear she has a long list.
Thank you, Mr. Grimm. May 2nd has been a busy day in history. In 1908, Take Me Out to the Ball Game was registered for copyright. The song was written by Jack Norworth and Albert von Tiltzer. Neither had ever attended a baseball game. In 1920, the Indianapolis ABCs beat the Chicago Giants at home in the first game of the National Negro Baseball League. The Inverness Courier published an account by a local couple in Scotland who claimed to have seen an enormous animal rolling and plunging on the surface of Loch Ness in 1933. In 1945, more than 1 million German soldiers officially surrendered to the Western Allies in Italy and Australia. In 1972, Jumanji actor and WWE wrestler Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was born in Haywood, California. Soccer player David Beckham was born in London, England in 1975. In 2000, President Bill Clinton announced that accurate GPS access would no longer be restricted to the U.S. military. It would now be available for a variety of civilian land, sea, air, and space activities. The first Marvel Iron Man film starring Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark was released in 2008. In a 2012 auction, a pastel version of The Screen by Norwegian painter Edward Munch sold for $119,922,500. In 2019, a cleanup on Mount Everest removed 3 metric tons, or 6,613 pounds of rubbish and 4 bodies in just 2 weeks. Now, looking at National Day today is Time to get out your magic wands and golden snitches. May 2nd is International Harry Potter Day, marking the 1998 death of Lord Voldemort at the end of the Second Wizarding War during the Battle of Hogwarts. National Baby Day. They're cute, they're squishy, and they're the future of the human race. Babies are pretty cool, even if they are sometimes the most devilish creatures on Earth. World Tuna Day is also observed on May 2nd every year. It was officially established by the United Nations in 2016 to draw attention to the importance of conservation management and sustainable fishing. That's all for this day in history and national days. Let's now go to Mr. Hayes, number 67, to see what is happening in the world of Titan sports.
What's poppin', mini Drevens? It's time for sports with Yeah Boy Dreven, sponsored by 3011.
Keep my foundation out your mouth.
What?
Keep my foundation out your mouth.
Oh, wow.
Now that that's taken care of, it's time for sports with your boy, not Dreven, but Mr. Hayes, sponsored by 3rd and 11. Let's take a look at our top athletes from last week's track meet at Anderson Highland. All of these athletes received a podium finish, starting with the boys. Brody Z placed first in the 100-meter yard dash, 100-meter hurdles. Malachi C placed third in the 100-meter dash and first in the long jump. Noah W placed first in the 1,600-meter run. Trayvon E placed third in the 1,600-meter run. Marquise A placed third in the long jump and first in discus. Marcus C placed third in the 400-meter dash. Sean W placed first in the 800-meter dash and second in the high jump. Jacob T placed first in the 2,400-meter run. And finally, Isaiah V placed third in the 2,400-meter run. In relay events for the guys, Northside placed first in the 1,600-meter relay. Now let's look at the Lady Titans. Hey, ladies! Serenity C placed second in both the 100-meter hurdle and the 100-meter dash. Zari N placed third in the 100-meter hurdle. Cadence S placed first in both the 100-meter dash and 200-meter dash. Kennedy S placed first in the 1,600-meter run. Lamaya G finished third in the 1,600-meter run. Grace W placed first in both shot put and discus. Lucy W placed third in both shot put and discus. Chloe P placed second in the 400-meter run. Caleb K placed third in the 400-meter run. And finally, Ilana D placed second in the 800-meter run. In relay events, the Lady Titans, hey ladies, placed first in the 400-meter and second in the 1,600-meter. Looking at the final scores, powered by 3rd and 11, the boys were victorious with a score of 70, as well as the Lady Titans, hey ladies, with a score of 57. Now let's look at what meets are coming up next week. Tomorrow the Titans will face the Delta Eagles on their track starting at 4:45 p.m. Then Saturday is the Marion Invitational hosted by McCullough Junior High School starting at 10 a.m. That's all for track news. We want to also make sure to congratulate our esports team on completing their first active year. The scores may not reflect it, but we are proud of all of you. Work you have done to expand what we offer here at Northside. And finally, I want to take this opportunity to invite you to 3rd and 11 Summer Youth Combine. The first one will be June 2nd at 7 p.m. It's open to any K through 6th graders. This is an opportunity for the upcoming athletes to develop their skills and play under the lights at Muncie Central Football Field. Keep an eye out on the future Combine events this summer. We hope to see you there. That is all that is going on in the world of Titan sports, sponsored by 3rd and 11. Let's go to Miss J. Pierce for birthdays.
Thanks, Mr. Hayes. Here are our Titan birthdays for this week and last week. Reese C., Seth D., Carlos E., Michaela H., Jackson J., William C., Eliza H., Sierra K., Liam R., Mackenzie R., Kyle S., Chloe S., Janiyah W. And our staff who are celebrating their birthdays are Miss Gedger, Miss Roberts, Mr. Bendez, Mr. Deniston, and Mr. Grace. Happy birthday to all of those Titans. Now here is Miss Mazzell for this week's Trivia Challenge.
Thank you, Mrs. J. Pierce. Last week's answer to the question, how many success classes submitted an answer for Trivia Challenge last week, was 11 classes. Our winner was Mr. Foster's class, who guessed 11. We said closest guess receives 3 points, so now here is the new leaderboard. Mrs. Teal's class is in first with 7 points, my class is in second with 6 points, and Mr. Foster's class is in third with 5 points. Now here is this week's question. Keeping things teacher related, which month has the most teacher birthdays in our school? Guess both which month and what the number is. Each correct guess gets 3 points. Discuss as a class and have your success teacher send in the answer to nmstitantv@gmail.com. Thanks for playing Trivia Challenge. Now it's time for really, really bad jokes with Mrs. Norris.
For today's episode of Really, Really Bad Jokes with Mrs. Norris, I've challenged my good friend Mrs. Newman, and the person who laughs the most loses. We've already done rock, paper, scissors, and I get to go first. What do you call a man with a rubber toe? With a rubber toe.
I don't know.
Roberto.
Okay. What's brown and sticky?
What?
Steak.
What do you call a hippie's wife? Mississippi. Mississippi.
What are 2 things you can't have for breakfast?
I don't know.
Lunch and dinner.
Good one. What do you call a dog that can do magic? A labracadabrador.
When is a door not a door?
When it's a jar.
Oh,
I remember that one.
She got it. Okay.
Why does Snoop Dogg always carry an umbrella?
Let me know.
For drizzle.
Okay. That's a fake laugh.
I know.
Doesn't count. Where do you learn to make banana splits?
I don't know.
Sunday school.
Very good. I guess that's it.
Oh,
I believe I lost. I'm sorry. I got lots of good ones. This has been Really, Really Bad Jokes with Mrs. Norris. Thank you, Mrs. Newman.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us during this broadcast.
Also, great job to all the teachers who have been involved with the special edition of NMS News.
With that said, let's turn to club news. Pokemon Club has been moved from last Friday to today in the library. Come on out from 4 to 5 p.m.
If you are needing help with schoolwork, homework help is the right place for you. This Tuesday through Thursday in the cafeteria.
I go to that. Titan Jazz is going strong as they practice for the variety show and celebrate excellence. They meet in the band room every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 8:45 a.m.
Boys and Girls Club will meet at lunch this Wednesday.
Titan Voices will meet this Thursday in the choir room at 8 a.m. Remember to enter at door 8.
FCA will meet this Friday in the choir room at 8 a.m. till 8:40 a.m.
D&D Club, nerds, will be next Wednesday from 4 to 5:30 in the library. I love nerds.
It's time to start that packing list. You're invited to join the Travel Club to explore Europe in the summer of 2024. From London to Paris and Rome, you'll be able to have some fun while exploring Europe. If you have any questions, email Ms. Rains. Interest meeting will be May 12th at 6:30 p.m. RSVP will be in Schoology very soon.
These clubs are open to everyone, and we hope you will come out.
And now it's time for the moment we have all been waiting for. It's time to announce our Teachers of the Month.
For 6th grade, we have, it's the person sitting next to me. It's Mr. Harder. That's you. You're the Teacher of the Month.
That's me.
Yeah.
And for 7th grade, we have Mr. Rector.
For 8th grade, PE teacher, Mr. Howard.
And finally, for special areas, Ms. Marlatt.
Thank you to all of the teachers who participated this week in the making of this broadcast.
And thank you, students, for allowing us to take over. This has made us all appreciate what you do each week to put together each NMS newscast.
Is that a sentence? We already cannot wait for next year's teacher edition.
But until then, make sure to like us on all the socials and subscribe to us on YouTube.
I'm Mrs. Jackson.
And I'm Mr. Harder.
And this has been your NMS News by teachers for students.
Work hard, be kind, own your own future, and
stay classy, Titans.
Remember to have some fun exploring Europe.
Sure.
European vacation.
You'll sure have fun.
You'll sure have fun exploring Europe. Just don't get lost.
We'll do that. Don't get lost
Meet
there.
up with a voodoo woman named Phyllis.
Are there voodoos named Phyllis in Europe?
I don't know. Could be. I'm just making this stuff.
Do you think I wonder if it's the same Phyllis I know?
It could be.
Are you being taken to all too?
That's
There are
a
not a lot of Phyllis's around.
You know, if it's a voodoo woman named Phyllis, it has to be the same one.
Yeah, it probably is. Sorry, what happened?
He's recording all of it.